Greetings, everybody. What's happening? Welcome to the Developing Dad podcast. We are ready to go. 2 episodes in a row. Let's see what we got. So y'all see, I pledge allegiance. Y'all know how the rest of that goes, right? To the flag of the United States of America. We've all said the pledge as we were growing up. We're going to talk about this today. The question is, should Donald Trump deport all traitorous legal immigrants? All right. So what are we talking about? If you saw the thumbnail, it was Ilhan Omar and Omar Fateh as the avatars for traitorous legal immigrants. Not all Somalian, but a lot of them seem to be. So let's listen into Trump discussing, because we got another young lady that we're going to talk about today too. We're going to be on for about an hour. Let's listen into Trump talking about the Somalians. All right, here we go.
The people from different countries that are not friendly to us, and countries that are out of control themselves. Countries like Somalia that have virtually no government, no military, no police. All they do is go around killing each other. Then they come into our country and tell us how to run our country. We don't want them.
What are you talking about?
You got to talk up.
She said how many countries?
Is there a list?
Well, I guess we gave you 19, right? And it's probably more than that.
Is that what you mean when you mean third world countries, those 19?
No, I don't think they're all third world, but in many cases they are third world. They're not good countries. They're very crime-ridden countries. They're countries that don't do a good job. They're countries that don't register from the standpoint of success. And we, frankly, don't need their people coming into our country telling us what to do.
And you talk about denaturalization.
I'm talking about like Somalia, where you have a congressman goes around telling everybody about our Constitution, and yet she supposedly came into our country by marrying her brother. Well, if that's true, she shouldn't be a congressman, and we should throw her the hell out of our country.
I mean, if you've been listening to this podcast for any length of time, I'm pretty sure I've said something pretty close to that. That if you're in our country and you're trying to tell us how to run it, and you have allegiances to a foreign nation, you shouldn't be here. That's not, I don't even believe that that's controversial. That should, every other nation on the face of the planet would have, virtually every, I can't say, because some of these Western nations have lost the plot, but Japan, Ilhan Omar would have been kicked out. Korea, Russia, they don't play these games. Why do we as Americans have to play this nonsense? I'm glad he's speaking like this now. He recently, because this is the frustration with Donald Trump, right? He gives you one good thing over here, then he takes it away with the other one, right? There was recently an interview where he said Americans don't have enough talent intellectually, so we need to import Chinese students into our universities. Well, that should highlight the fact that the Department of Education has been an abject failure, and you should pour more resources into making American education great again. One way would be to give parents the financial relief. That's what I'm going to, financial relief, and empower them to educate their own children. And people always say, I mean, I've been watching multiple documentaries, read books about education. People will say, well, if you don't give people who are uneducated the responsibility of choosing proper education for their children, then they won't make a good decision. Well, you obviously don't know history, because the majority of black leaders from the 20th century came from humble beginnings. Thurgood Marshall, Thomas Sowell, right? These people they weren't raised by highly educated people, but they themselves became educated. So, if you talk about Dunbar High School in DC, the list of students there, they came from families who were factory workers, janitors, street cleaners, street sweepers. And they went on to do great things. What's going on, Roger Dodger? Welcome, welcome, welcome. Thank you, thank you. Right, I'm taking my lunch break to do a little episode. I've been taking some time off because the kids have been busy with music. So you gotta, dad first, right? But I'm 100% in agreement here with Donald Trump, because these people are traitorous. Now let's look at this. I want to read something to you before we continue. Okay. Now it may be hard for you to read, but I'm going to read it to you. This is the Naturalization Oath of Allegiance to the United States of America. Right? Yes. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Thank you. Right? If you want to join the channel, I will be coming back with more information and more episodes. Let's say that. Okay. If you want to buy me a coffee, if you want to leave a Streamlabs tip, you want a Venmo, Cash App, whatever. See, I got it all in there, right? You can support me as I do this. All right. Anyway, but let's read the Naturalization Oath of Allegiance to the United States of America. Here it is. I hereby declare on oath that I absolutely and entirely renounce and abjure all allegiance and fidelity to any foreign prince, potentate, state, or sovereignty of whom or which I have heretofore been a subject or citizen. And I continue on, that I will support and defend the Constitution and laws of the United States of America against all enemies, foreign and domestic, that I will bear true faith and allegiance to the same, that I will bear arms on behalf of the United States when required by the law, that I will perform non-combatant service in the armed forces of the United States when required by the law, that I will perform work of national importance under civilian direction when required by the law, and that I take this obligation freely without any mental reservation or purpose of evasion. So help me God. This is the oath that you have to take if you want to become a naturalized citizen of the United States. Now, if you do not perform these duties, you are subject to denaturalization. If you do not uphold the Constitution, if you do not renounce entirely all allegiance and fidelity to any foreign prince, potentate, state, or sovereignty that you have heretofore been a subject or citizen to. This is cut and dry. Let's go to now. Let's listen to where is it? I have it right here. So old Ilhan. This is long. This should have been done a long time ago.
Aan fursad u helay madaxweynaheena madaxweynaha Soomaaliya
Our president.
Madaxweyne Hassan Sheikh Mahmoud inaan maanta ku soo dhaweyno Minneapolis.
Let's just read. Let's give a warm welcome to Minneapolis, right? The president and I have a special relationship. I'll read it. All right. I call him uncle and he calls me his girl. Oh, it's so sweet. Our president. Any potentate? Welcome to your home. Our home is your home. Welcome to Minneapolis. We're very happy that Hassan is our president. Any potentate? No, you don't have another president. Somalia is our home. No. America's your home. It is home to all the people gathered here. We do not feel that it is far from us. Well, it's pretty far. It's across the Atlantic. But Somalia is our heart. It is in our hearts. Oh, we always think about Somalia. Oh, in the U.S. Congress, you're always thinking about Somalia. Oh, that's great. That's great. What's going on, Brother Moses? What's happening? So you thinking about, yeah, I know. Yeah, that's insane. Yeah, they are out of, yeah. So Somalia is our president, and this is not the first time that she said something like this. She's also committed fraud against the United States government by President Trump said it. I posted it yesterday. I forget. I don't have it up here again, but she married her brother. Right? She married her brother to defraud the United States government. this has been a slam dunk. She should have been deported, denaturalized and deported years ago. But because we're soft, right? We're soft. So we just let people like that come into our country and tell us how it should be run. And I'm glad that President Trump is taking steps to heal this wound, this cancer, excise the cancer. How about that? That's what we need. We need these people gone. We need these people gone. Now, if you take this oath, you're bound by it. If you want to be a naturalized citizen of the United States of America, you take this oath, and if you do not uphold the oath, you are subject to denaturalization and deportation. And entirely renouncing and abjuring all allegiance and fidelity to any foreign prince, potentate, state, or sovereignty. Pretty cut and dry. So why are we having to fight this? This shouldn't even be a fight. It should be very simple, cut and dry, get out of here. Bye, see you later. Now, this is one of the things that we're most worried about with Donald Trump. It seems he's a little bit inconsistent, right? Because he wants to bring over Chinese, he wants H-1B. Like, no, at this point, we don't need any of this. We don't even need any of this. Right? America needs to heal from the onslaught of illegal immigration and traitorous legal immigration. So if you're not pledging allegiance to the United States, why are you here? Why are you here? Now, Trump, don't make the mistake of importing all the H-1Bs when you just won our thanks and gratitude for finally recognizing that we have traitors running our government. Now, we need you to recognize that you have Somali traitors, but you also have Zionist traitors. We need you to recognize all of the traitors that are trying to destroy American sovereignty. We have way more problems than I think even he wants to admit, because he's surrounded by Zionists, and I think he's compromised by Zionists. But it's a start, at least. Yesterday on my episode, I mentioned the fact that this seems like a false flag to try to get our attention off of the fact that, we have Charlie's assassination and all of these other issues going on. So he's ramping up on his rhetoric against the Ilhan Omars of the world. And we're grateful for that. We don't want her here. I agree with you 100%. We don't want her here. We don't want her kind here. We don't want people who have an allegiance to another nation in our nation, using our resources, whether it be educational, financial, whatever. If these people don't want to become a part of the great American experiment, then they need to leave. Now, let's talk about this young lady. This is a less popular young lady. She's not as popular as Ilhan Omar, but she might become quite popular soon. All right? Yeah. All right? So let's look at this. We're about to listen to this young lady here. All right?
Let's say the United States went to war with Colombia. Who do you side with?
Colombia.
Get the f*** out of our country. Holy f***. Why do you side with Colombia?
Because I'm from Colombia.
You've lived here for 10 years and you're now a citizen.
Okay, still that doesn't mean I'm not gonna side
You
with
have
my
no...
country.
Okay, I'm looking this up. Yes, becoming a citizen requires taking the oath of allegiance. By taking the oath, you pledge to renounce any foreign allegiance, support and defend the U.S. Constitution and laws, and perform service to the country when required by law. You do not become a citizen until you have completed the oath ceremony and received your certificate of naturalization. Did you receive your certificate of naturalization?
Yes.
Did you complete the oath ceremony?
Yes.
So you're a liar? Do you remember this? Here, read that shit again. I do solemnly swear that I absolutely and entirely renounce and abjure, I don't even know what the that means, all allegiance, Colombia, and fidelity to any foreign prince or what the potentate? Is that a fucking fruit? What the is that shit? It's like a pomegranate and a fucking potato. State or sovereignty. Did you say that shit?
Yeah.
So you lied to get into the United States, bro.
I didn't lie.
You have allegiance to Colombia.
It's not allegiance.
Originally, you said Colombia.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll stick
Originally.
to that answer.
So she thinks that it's not allegiance to say if America went to war with Colombia, she would fight for Colombia. That's not allegiance. These people, again, this is what they do. He asked her straight up, right? Where is it? Right? Where is it? Nope, sorry, it's the wrong one. Now this stream deck is acting a fool. This is the one I want, not that one. It's the wrong sound. It shouldn't be playing. Hold on one second. See, that's what happens when you stop the sound. There you go. All right, it was this one that I was trying to. But he asked, "Are you lying? Did you lie to get in here? Because you obviously don't have allegiance to America, and you still have allegiance to Colombia. You said you'd fight, and you'd be allied with Colombia." Yeah. This is unfortunate, right? Right. Give her the boot. I know, right? You said that no, Donald Trump should not deport immigrants. Donald Trump should resign before his approval rating edges downward into the 20s. Okay, well, we'll just agree to disagree on that one. Right? Yes. So, let's see. Let me take look at some of these comments over here. All right. Let's see. So he said he would Trump let in white South Africans because he was paid. Yeah, I mean, the number of white South Africans that Trump let in pales in comparison to the number of other immigrants that have been let in. I mean, they were actually seeking asylum because they were about to be murdered. But, I mean, it's up to, I don't know. I mean, look, at this point, I want the doors closed. I'm fine with the doors closing on everyone. At this point, we've got to right our own ship. You can't be the world's dumping ground. When we've got homelessness unsolved here in the United States, we have drug epidemic. We fought the war on drugs, and drugs is winning. We fought the war on poverty. Poverty's winning. Every war that the government seems to fight internally, the opponent wins. Right? War on drugs, lost. War on poverty, lost. Right? Right? Thank you for hopping in. I'm going to go back to real life. Repent and believe the gospel. There you go. All right. Just going back to real life. Right? Because I'm not real. I'm AI, guys. Yeah. All right. So, let's see. I'm looking at some of these comments over here. Yeah. All right. So this young lady says, in a nutshell, she's like, well, I'm not interested in being allied to America. No, Colombia is my home. Yes, I've used America for its resources, its education. I currently live here. I'm comfortable here. But if push comes to shove, I'm going to side with Colombia, my home and native land. Right? That's exactly what she says. And she lied to get in, right? Because you're a liar. You're a liar. And many people have done the same. They will take that oath of allegiance because they know that there's no penalty associated with it. See, oaths used to mean something. An oath only mattered because we believed that there was something higher than us that could look into our hearts and understood when we were lying. So it's a very simple concept from the Bible. Let your yes be yes and your no be no. Anything else that comes from evil. But oaths only work when people believe in a higher power. You can take an oath and lie through your teeth. Because if you don't think that there's anyone that can monitor or gauge your thoughts, then you can say whatever you want. And these people are saying whatever they want, and they got into the country by saying whatever they needed to say to get in. And we, the taxpayers, we, the ones that actually believe, yes, we, my wife's funny. Hold on one second. She's, my wife just texted me. Yeah. But we're the ones who actually believe in the American ideals and are trying to and striving to be the best we can to serve our fellow man, doing acts of service, living a life that is filled with altruism, capitalism based on service to your fellow man, not capitalism that is based on greed, right? Because initially that's capitalism was based on service to your fellow man. It was not based on what we have now, which is capitalism based on greed. And don't get me wrong, I'm not a fan. Make as much money as you can, but do it in service to your fellow man, not by denigrating and making him less human. So that's one of the reasons why I'm not a fan of capitalism as we currently have it, because it's long lost its way because it's not anchored in Christian principles, right? Yes. Yeah, we recognize our hypocrisy. That's why we need a savior. That's one of the reasons why Jesus came, because we're all hypocrites. We just recognize our hypocrisy and we repent and walk away from it daily. Thanks for recognizing, though. We appreciate you for playing. All right. Now, one of the things that we definitely need to take a look at is this lack of truthfulness in the narrative surrounding illegal immigration. Because everybody always says, right, that, well, if you get rid of all of the Mexican immigrants, who's going to build the houses, right? And there are lots of pages out there that are dedicated to highlighting some of the shoddy craftsmanship of the supposed, great builders. It says, thank you for subscribing. Appreciate you. I appreciate you. Thank you. See that number went up when you did it? Because you ain't lying. I love it. All right. So he said, remember, white people simply don't possess the carpentry skills to replicate this. Without the vast skill base of illegal, I'm not going to say that. He said Guatemalan. I would say that. Roofers in the U.S., not a single house could be built. But you're looking at what's going on here, and you're wondering, like, well, I've had many carpenters, masons tell me that they have to go back and undo a lot of the shoddy craftsmanship that, your average Home Depot, Lowe's, Home Depot, illegal immigrant does. Now, I'm not saying that it's all, but let's not act like the Protestant, because it was Protestant Christian work ethic that helped to form this nation can just easily be replicated by any other culture without thought to what the outcomes would be now that you've lost that work ethic. We're so far removed from American exceptionalism and America being American made meaning something, right? Because we've had the erosion of the factory, the Midwest. Is it Midwest? Yeah, like middle of the country, right? Factories, labor, all of these other things have been shipped over to other places. We've lost so much now that we just assume that we need illegal immigration to build, but we don't. We didn't. Illegal immigrants weren't the ones who built this country. The Rust Belt. There you go. Yes. And again, a lot of times you get what you pay for. If you want something done cheaply, you're going to get cheap, right? Again, Ford Motor Company. Now, there's some, if you watch documentaries on Ford and some of the practices and everything, but I'm saying like that, General Motors, Ford Motor Company, all of those great American industries, right? But all of that's been shipped overseas, or I don't know, man. It's we have so many lies being spread about illegal immigration that people just believe because we don't want to think critically. We don't want to dive deeper into the data to find out, okay, is this really better? People keep saying this, right? This is one of the when people talk about how the nation would be better, or the nation would be better if, let's use feminism as an example. Feminism has been the ideology that's basically dominated the West maybe for the past 60 years, right? Are we actually better though? That's the question. People keep saying if we keep putting women and black people and diversity and all these other things, they keep making the claims. But are we better because of these things? Are we better now that merit has taken a backstage to diversity? Right? No, I don't think so. I think when you have merit-based systems, you get the NBA. Right? Well, on the whole, NBA is black league, and nobody's requesting or demanding diversity quotas in the NBA or the NFL. If you can make it, you make it, for the most part. So there it is. Now, the same should be true of Harvard, of Yale, Princeton, and any other air traffic controllers, airplane pilots, dangerous jobs that require you to be the best of the best. Why do we need diversity there? Diversity is not a strength. It's not a strength. And I know people are going to say, oh, that's not, no. Merit. If you're the best, prove it. Beat the competition. Beat them. I never wanted a job that was handed to me. I want to earn it. I want to beat the man next to me. I want to know that I'm better than him. Yeah. I want to know that I'm better than he is. Because I know that if I beat him, then I'm going to take pride in the fact that I was better than him. I put in the work that he wouldn't put in order to succeed where he wouldn't succeed. Yeah. And see, I guess follow along. I'm saying where I said where merit has taken a back seat to diversity. See, there are quotas now when there weren't before. It all used to be, okay, who has the best grades, who has the best opportunity to succeed here, the best test scores, those people get in. Now it's, we need X number of these people, regardless of whether or not you understand? I didn't say that merit wasn't in play. I said that merit is taking a back seat to diversity. They're still both there. So you're not going to put someone with a 20 IQ into Harvard. Right? They still have to be somewhat intelligent, but the standard is lowered if you need to meet the quota. You understand? I hope so. Okay. Right. I know that's the problem. That's the problem. People actually think they're right. I don't know. Right. Exactly. America actually existed before the onslaught of illegal immigration, and Americans built things before that. Right. Now, this is Ilhan talking about the possibility of her being
I have
deported.
no worry. I don't know how they take away my citizenship and like deport me, but I don't even know like why that's such a scary threat. Like, I'm not the 8-year-old who escaped war anymore. I'm grown. My kids are grown. Like, I can go live wherever I want. I have no worry.
Please do. Would you please leave? Right? All right. Would you please leave? You and your husband, y'all go. Okay? There you go. We would love it if you all did that. Now, This is the type of stuff that we're trying to
Camera,
avoid.
a girl was walking home from school, walked into her house, and look who follows right behind her. Walking up to someone's front door, opening the
Prying
door.
and looking inside to seeing who's there. A full adult male Somali with no job.
Who they pay for with their tax dollars to live and eat food. Can I have your daughter? No. Okay.
Oh, okay, I'll just leave then.
And
I'll
he-
get her tomorrow.
Yeah, and then he walks on. And what would happen if that girl was home alone?
I know.
You know? I don't even want to think about it, but, maybe no, look who you're dealing with.
You just wanted to talk. I don't think so.
Camera, a girl was
This is the
walking
kind of
home.
but this is the kind of stuff we're not supposed to recognize, because obviously recognizing this means that, you know, of course,
That's racist!
that's racist, right? It's racist to recognize this, right? I mean, if you want to just go look, the fraud, the attempts at raping young children. Why do we need to put up with this? Who says? Why does America need to be the dumping ground for these types of people? He should be back in Somalia. Right, of course. Yeah, I'm joking. Obviously, I'm just everybody in Indian, everybody has an opinion about things, and they can call you names all they want. Like I said it on my show yesterday, and I'll keep saying it on almost every other episode. At some point, and I'm talking to white people in general specifically, but this can be good for anyone. At some point, you have to recognize that not everyone's opinion of you should be validated. I mean, if someone calls you racist because you recognize these types of patterns, okay, so what? If you're the type of person that is going to defend this type of behavior and the patterns that come from that specific group, because this is not isolated, then I don't care about your opinions of me. You should start thinking that way. So for too long, white people have been silenced because they're afraid of being called racist. Just for the possibility of recognizing patterns, of not bowing the knee or bending the knee to anything that a black person states as their lived experience. Oh, you don't understand me. You don't understand me because you don't know what it's like to live in my shoes. I don't want to know what it's like to live in your shoes. I have my own shoes to fill. I have my own life to worry about. I'm interested in what's right. Oh, you don't have empathy. That's fine. It's fine. I have sympathy for people who actually are in hardship, but you making up this boogeyman that everything's racist around you, I don't care. I'm not moved by it. And that would be, if I were white, that would be my position. I'm not white, so I can just tell you all to do it, or say, give you the advice. But I don't even listen to them. And they come into my comments and come into my direct messages and try to tell me that I'm insensitive and this, and I'm like, look, I don't behave like some of the ratchets that I see online, and I'm also not going to defend it. I recognize behavior patterns that lead to that diminish the possibility for human flourishing. And I see it happening all too often with people who have a similar skin hue. And I also see not many of us willing to call it out for what it is. Now, if that makes me an Uncle Tom and Uncle Rucker, no relation, a coon sellout, whatever you want to call me, that's fine. I'm fine being those things because I don't respect you all anyway. If they're going to make excuses for people who some call themselves Christians but will not live the way Christ told them to live, I'm not interested in your opinion. If you're going to make excuses, give approval, like Romans says, Romans 1:32. You not only do those things, but you give approval to those who practice those things. Then I really have nothing to say to you. Your thoughts are going one ear in one ear and out the other. So that's what I would think. I would say to white people who are being gaslit into being silenced. Stop allowing it to happen. That's the only way you're going to take your country back. I don't know, but or you could just keep letting this happen, right? We could turn into England. So Africa has 54 countries. Asia has 48. There are 51 countries with a Muslim majority. Nobody from Africa, Asia, or Muslim country needs to come to Europe or the USA for asylum. There are plenty of countries closer and more culturally aligned to them. Send them back. I'm right there. That's what I'm saying. They don't need to come here. There are places that they can go that are not the United States of America. Africa, Asia, Middle East. You can go somewhere else. It's not a requirement that you come here. It's not. Now, if you want to come here and assimilate, yes. We love it. Right? We love it. Come here and assimilate. Because even the people who hate it here, who think this country is the most racist country and it has all of these racist problems, they're not even leaving. They complain all the time about how amazing the racism is here. It's everything. Everything is racist here. So racist, though, but they're not leaving. They will not leave. You will not see them packing up. Very few of them will pack up and go to the motherland. They're not going. Where the population is in the 90s percentile black. That should be utopia. You would think so. Right? You would think so, right? 90+% black, they wouldn't have to worry about y'all white racists no more. Right? Yes. Yes, indeed. Yes. I don't even understand this stupid statement. What is this? This guy stupid, brother. You are black and you're telling me that you are racist too. I don't even understand what you're talking about. It's like, that was actually a dumb statement, but you could try to clarify it, I guess. I don't know. Anyway. Yeah. It's a racist country? Oh, man. So, really? The country's racist? The whole country? Okay. Yeah. Yeah, I do know that. Yes, they were enslaved. Yes, I do know. My great-grandfather was a slave. Yeah. He was born about 5 to 10 years before the Emancipation Proclamation. Yes, I know. Yes. Yeah. What does that have to do with me, though? I'm not a slave, and neither are you. Right? So, what's your point? Are you a slave today? Because if y'all really belly aching about slavery, you could go and do something about the slave trade in the Arab lands that's still going on today. Y'all worried about white people? I don't know no white people that own slaves, but I do know some black people that's owned their slaves in the Arab lands. Y'all want to go and check them out? Huh? You'll go check. Y'all really care about slavery that much? Or are you just virtue signaling? You don't really have any virtue. You're just virtue signaling, right? Yeah. Okay. What's the system? The system what? What's the system? Tell me about this racist system. Point them out to me, please. Point them out. Point them out to me. Point them out to me. Point out these systems that are racist, please. What about them? What about Rosewoods in towns like Tulsa? What about them? You're talking about modern day Tulsa and modern day Rosewood. What about them? What about them? Come on. Right? It's interesting because they'll call us the sellouts, but they're the ones that are still yoked to the Democrat Party, the party of slavery, the party of eugenics, the party that has told you all, has ripped the black man from the family, systematically ripped the black man from the family. But you won't talk about, is that a part of the system that you're talking about? The great Great Society programs? Are you talking about that system? That still inflicted the SNAP EBT that's creating these 180 plus pound black women, single moms with multiple kids? Is that the system you're talking about? Huh? Is that the system you're talking about? I'm asking y'all questions. Because y'all just keep talking. I'm asking you questions. Now, what are you talking about? What are you talking about? Right? What are you talking about? I want to know. Please tell me. Please tell me. Please tell me. Anyway, let's listen into one of the great minds of our time. I've been watching a lot of documentaries, and with Milton and Walter Williams and Thomas Sowell and the like. Right? I generally do that about. Yeah. Let's listen.
Keep your eye on one thing and one thing only: how much government is spending, because that's the true tax. Every budget is balanced. There is no such thing as an unbalanced federal budget. You're paying for it. If you're not paying for it through it in the form of explicit taxes, you're paying for it indirectly in the form of inflation or in the form of borrowing. The thing you should keep your eye on is what government spends. And the real problem is to hold down government spending as a fraction of our income. And if you do that, you can stop worrying about the debt. Keep your eye on one thing and one thing only.
That's what, follow the money. That's what Milton's talking about. Follow the money. He's one of my favorites. Thomas Sowell. Yes. Follow the money. Right? Yes. See, I'm selling my soul. I sold it. Right? Oh, sold my soul down by the riverside. Down by the riverside. Down by the river. Down by the riverside. Well, I sold my soul, y'all. Down by the riverside. Yeah. Oh, I gotta share that hatred. Doop, 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 doop. Yes, but I have too much fun. But unfortunately, we keep talking about all of these programs and systems. What systems? What systems? What systems? What? Tell me what you do. Okay, so for 60 plus years, y'all have been, people like you have been parroting the same nonsense about the black community. We're fatter, less moral, and in many ways, because I'm watching these documentaries, the same problems plague us today that plagued us in the 70s and the 80s and the 90s. So what? So a wise person would see that and say, something's not right. We've got to change something. But you all keep doing the same thing. At some point, isn't that the definition of insanity? Doing the same thing and expecting different results. See, you're told that he's your problem. Every 4 years, you're told that some Republican is your problem. Instead of owning that black women in the 60s took the check, pushed men out of the house, starting a chain reaction of generational issues that would begin the downward spiral of the black community. Now, you would think, well, you know what we should do to change that? Get married, stay with your husband, like the generation did before us. Build generational wealth over time. And then you're going to say, well, if we tried to do that, then the white man would take away our opportunities. Because look at what they did to Black Wall Street. And if you would go and look at the history of Black Wall Street, because always one excuse that you can always point back to say, we can't do what other groups have done. I've watched Vietnamese people come here in the 70s, build enclaves of houses and businesses, and now Vietnamese children that are now my age own multiple businesses, are capable of giving loans to their family members to start other businesses. So why were they? And they came here not even being able to speak the language. But you know what they didn't have? A ready-made excuse, like you have. See, it's always some excuse. Like, we can't do this. Why not? Why not? Because you don't have the self-discipline, the forward thinking, the vision, the what are you because people like TD Jakes had the vision to milk black women for millions, build his Potter's church, build his Potter's House church off the backs of black women, and write his books, Woman Thou Art Loosed, because he saw y'all as an easy mark to get money from you. And now he's a millionaire, and he done passed on that church to his daughter and son-in-law. That's generational thinking. So it's possible, right? It's possible. TD Jakes did it, right? I'm clueless now. No, I'm right. And you can't refute it. That's what that is. Because when you start calling names, but you have a ready-made excuse for everything. Oh, the white man stopping us from the white man. It's sad to see grown adults always making excuses. My goodness. I'm not raising my kids to do that, right? I'm raising my kids to own their mistakes and their own failures, to put in the work necessary to be great, and let the chips fall where they're made. There are going to be times when they're going to succeed, times when they're going to fail. We have succeeded. My wife and I have succeeded at some things and failed at other things. But what we don't do is we don't make excuses. We keep trying and we're going for the next thing. All right. So what? But I'm not about to cry and moan and complain. I can't do nothing because the white man it hasn't been white people that have been the biggest problem for me in success. If I aligned myself more with white people, I'd probably be more successful. But I have this foolish idea that I want to stick around people that look like me. And that's where I get into trouble. Anyway, goodness. Because it's always a ready-made excuse. It's always a ready-made excuse why you're fat. Instead of just portion control, walking, learning about fitness. It's always a ready-made excuse why you're dumb. Well, you could just read. I have about 500 books in this room. And don't count the ones that are in my children's room and in the downstairs of my house. We don't even have a television anywhere in my home because we want to read classically. We want to study. We have books on science, on sociology, on history, on whatever subject you can think of. We have books on it. And the children read it. Now, what do you want? What do you want? My children can play on average 4 instruments apiece because we don't accept anything but excellence. It's about hard work, diligence, and excellence. Our family creed is honor, diligence, and faith for God's well done. So we're diligently going to put in the same level of effort every day so that it stacks wins. And then when you take care of the little things, make your bed, do your hygiene. If you do those things, then playing Mozart or Bach or Chopin becomes possible. Astrophysics becomes possible. Some people want to attribute it to talent. But it's actually hard work. It's just hard work and not making excuses. Now, we had in my 11th grade basketball team, we had a motto, no excuses. Now, we sucked. We were 11-24, but we didn't make excuses. But that motto always stuck with me. I'm not going to make excuses. And if I start making excuses, then that's a problem. Right? But you see Belle is she can't argue anything, because all they want to do is they want to shame you. They want to shame you. Right? They want to shame you into thinking, oh, well, you can't do X because the white man's going to keep you down. Paul says, whether I be brought low or abound in any and every circumstance. He's talking about being content there, right? Everybody uses the I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me, as in I can fly if I want to, right? I can sprout wings and fly. But unfortunately, we don't have a biblical understanding of work, right? This guy is even talking about it right here. Where's the biblical content? If you understood you had a biblical understanding of work, of family raising, of all of the things that I'm talking about, you know that what I'm speaking is coming directly from the scriptures, right? Fathers, bring your children up in the discipline and do not provoke your children to anger, but bring them up in the discipline and instruction of the Lord. Ephesians 6:4. Children, obey your parents in the Lord, for this is right. Honor your father and mother. This is the first commandment with a promise that it may go well with you and that you may live long in the land. That's Ephesians 6:1-3. Colossians 3:22 says the same thing. Now, I can give you explicit scriptures as to what I'm talking about because I've memorized 15 books of the Bible. But do you want to just sit here and listen to me quote Bible verses? I don't believe in Judeo-Christian values. I believe in Christian values. I'm not the Judeo part is. I'm not. No, because we're not. But anyway, now I was only planning on being on here for like 45 minutes. I think I covered everything I wanted to cover. Let's see. Yeah, we found her. They found the young lady, right? Yeah. Rise, Peter, kill and eat. Mark 7:19, and thus declared all foods clean. I mean, I've done Christian apologetics for years. Those things don't, right? Yeah. New American Standard Bible, because it does not go into the heart, but into his stomach and is eliminated. Thereby, he declared all foods clean. Right. I mean, this is Jesus talking. So, and I follow Jesus. So, now we can get into an eschatological discussion. I believe in covenant eschatology, which means that what Jesus said about all of the law and prophets being fulfilled, he didn't come to abolish it, but he did come to fulfill it. And in so doing, he fulfilled it, severing ties with the Jewish people in 70 AD when Titus destroyed the temple, and the temple will not be rebuilt. That's my contention. I'm sticking to it, but I'm going to leave y'all here because I got a technician coming to fix our fridge, because we're not going to get into a long theological discussion because I ain't got time for all that. Anyway, that's Mark 7:19. All right. So that was Mark 7:19. Mark chapter 7, verse 19. That's what that verse was. All right. Anyway, and yes, I do eat bacon and it is delicious. All right. So here we go. Until next time, be on the alert, stand firm in the faith, act like men, be strong. See y'all around. Y'all have a good one. Bye.